Hello, hello, everyone.
It's Travel Tuesday!
Hey, hey. We're ready for another episode of Travel Talk Tuesday. We're coming to you live from Houston, Texas. You can watch us on Facebook Live or tune in to Stoner Radio. We're here for travel professionals, travelers, and those who aspire to be one or both. We share useful destination news and provide top resources to make your travel experiences everything that you want and then some. So I'm Melissa Collins,
And I'm Lysa, the boss lady.
and
And it's Travel Talk Tuesday!
Yay! Woohoo!
A super special guest for you guys tonight. She is the business development manager for Carnival Cruise Lines. And in case you guys don't know what a business development manager is, what she does is she is the liaison between Carnival Cruise Lines and us, the travel agents, because she's not just a business development manager for IntelliTravel, she's a business development manager for other agents as well. But we love her more, so. But she is coming to tell us all the good news, updates, and everything that she can tell us, because of course, this situation is just a day-by-day situation. The CDC just let us off punishment. And so it's kind of like a we play the rules as they go. Hi, Kim.
Hey, Kim, glad you're here.
Glad you tuned in. Thank you so much. So we wanted to our purpose is to, get the information out there for you as much as we can. And so we get in touch with the people who actually know just slightly more than us, because it's still playing it by ear, day by day, type of thing. So without further ado, we will talk with Aliette Penton after this really quick commercial break. Hey, Tanisha. So we'll be right back with Aliette.
Are you looking for ways to take your business to the next level? Well, Houston, we have a solution. The Boss Up Bootcamp is here to help you level up. Join Lysa, the boss lady, and her amazing roster of speakers that will give you the inside scoop on turning your side hustle into multiple streams of income. This is your year to level up, but don't delay. Register now before it's sold out. Visit www.lysathebosslady.com to register for this event and for more information. That's Lysa, Lysa, bosslady.com. Remember, you got to be in it to win it. So register today, and don't forget to mention Stunner Radio sent you.
And we are back. Thank you so much for hanging out with us this Tuesday. And without further ado, we definitely want to introduce you to Aliette Penton, the Business Development Manager for Carnival Cruise Lines.
Good evening. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you for joining.
Good evening, ladies. It's always a pleasure to be back with you on Travel Talk Tuesday. You know that you are amongst my favorites, so I love spending some time with you.
Oh, we like to hear that.
Oh, we love to hear that, because you're definitely one of our favorites. We really appreciate you. We appreciate everything that you do. We appreciate how helpful you are, because you are very, very helpful. We really appreciate everything that you do for us.
Aw. I just need to come on here every week when I'm having a bad week and just listen to you guys.
Definitely.
Just bring it on. Bring on the love. Bring on the love.
I'm sure I can help you with that every day. You want to call me? Okay, I got some for you.
Absolutely.
Well, how excited are you?
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited that we are finally back at sea. We've got a couple ships out there, and just the fact that we have a return to service plan. It's slow and steady, but you know what they say: slow and steady wins the race, right?
Right.
So yeah, we're super excited, and I'm just overjoyed with it. But aside from that, super busy too, because so many new policies, things are changing, everybody's calling, all of the agents are just so excited. And I have to say, for several months, and we all heard this, for those of you who are in the travel industry, you probably heard this, and if you're just kind of peeking in, then you'll get some inside information. But for months we kept hearing that there was all this pent up demand, and that the minute that cruising was back, that it was going to be like the floodgates opened. And let me tell you, I don't know how it is on the travel agent side. Well, I know how it is because I'm getting the other end of it, right? But on my end, it has just been completely bananas. I literally told my, regional VP, which Lysa knows pretty well, Kirk. I told them last week, I'm like, I swear, it's like somebody just hit a light switch, and everybody and their mama and their daddy and their cousin just wants to go on a cruise.
Absolutely.
And all of you are just calling with questions. And it's just, honestly, it's exciting because for so many months, we were trying to stay as engaged as we could with the travel community, keeping you all up to date with, new ships coming out or new restaurants and venues that we were going to have, just kind of trying to keep that excitement about cruising at, the front of everyone's mind and so forth. But now it's like real excitement. It's, guest on board again. So that's really exciting.
I know it's like that here in Texas, because as soon as the news said that there was a cruise ship leaving, the phone started ringing.
Yep. You guys were the very first Carnival ship.
Yes.
You even beat Horizon out by a day. I know.
Yeah.
Yes. And look at Kaylin.
Hey, Kaylin.
Hi, Kaylin. Thank you for watching. So it was super exciting. And, you could tell because Houston was waiting for this, that everybody was going to the cruise, to the cruise port to watch, to wave and everything. And some of my, my niece, my best friend, I'm going to shout her out, Leticia Jamay. She was in Galveston because it was her birthday. The Vista sailed on her birthday. And
wow.
Like, that ship is huge. And I was like, yep, we're going. Let's go. Everybody was out there just taking photos. The energy was amazing.
I know, it was fun out here as well in South Florida, in Miami Herald, the press releases, everything. It almost felt like it's like the first cruise ship ever, but after all of us just being at home and being shut down for so long, you just, for a minute there, it got a little scary. It was like touch and go.
I was like so scared to say we're sailing. We're sailing. So I got to the point where it was almost 400 days. And so I was like, I'm going to say we're sailing when they're moving. And so
let's leave the port. Yes.
When I saw her,
I don't think any of us anticipated that the pause was going to be as long as it was. I mean, I know if I, for one, or, even, our senior team from our first conversation, we were all really in shock. I don't know if any of you guys have heard, but I think Adolfo's actually shared it a couple of times. Like, he got teary-eyed when they first told us that they were pausing service. I mean, he's been with the company since he was, a young teenager. I mean, he grew up with Carnival. So it was like a shocker to think, what, we're actually going to stop service. So, and then for it to go on as long as it did, none of us would have ever expected it. I mean, honestly, I'm just thankful that Carnival is such an amazing company, and that I was employed the entire time, and they just really did right by their employees. So just a shout out to this awesome company for being so great with all of us.
Major.
I have to say, you guys are such of the pioneers of the cruise industry. I mean, you're the one of the beginning companies and the first one to sail after we're back. I mean, you're the first ones out there. Yeah. I mean, I've been watching all of the other cruise lines as well to see, what they're going to do. And I even tried to pull up the information of Galveston, because the Port of Galveston usually has a yearly calendar of all the sailings. I think they're kind of waiting to see how things are going to go before they make this one. But you're the first cruise line to leave Galveston, and by far on dates. I mean, Royal's not starting until August, and Disney's not starting until October. So, I mean, you guys are like way ahead of everybody else.
Absolutely. I'm super excited about
it. And it's So, and it's so great to hear that, honestly, because for so many times I would get questions from even Lysa and everyone, and I'm like, all these other cruise lines are putting out press releases, and we just weren't announcing anything until we knew for sure, because you don't want to get people excited and then it's
Right.
not happening.
Definitely.
I think that's the best way to do it, so that they can just see it happen, and then when they actually are seeing it happen, now they're like, okay, it's happening, let's go.
Let's go, right? I used to actually watch Adolfo because
Yeah.
he was very emotional, and I could tell by the tone of his voice what direction we were really going in. And then Melissa will tell you, I started getting more excited this time around than I did before. And I listened to Kirk as well, because I can hear in his voice, you got a poker face. So I can't tell from you, but I can hear the voices. Okay, we're really gonna move this time. And I was watching Adolfo, and I was like, "Oh, we're gonna do it." And I started just gearing up and gearing up and gearing up and getting ready, because I could tell. And I think that is one of the humanizing aspects, of Carnival, because if you're actually going through the emotions with everybody else, then you're showing, where your heart is. You're showing your customers that they're not just, that's just my customer or whatever. You're feeling the same thing that we're feeling. And I love it. I'm
authentic. It's not staged. It's authentic. That's my whole thing. I love that.
Absolutely. So where are you going first?
Oh yeah, definitely. Me personally, well, I was sharing with you ladies earlier before we started broadcasting. I've got a sailing booked with my family for October, so I booked it out and I was like, you know what, I'm going to push it out just in case. Let's see where this actually takes off. I figured October would be safe, but now I realize I probably could have booked sooner.
Definitely. I thought about that same thing. And I have a group going out in September, and I was like, oh, I should have did August, and, my husband will be 40 in August, and we did intend to have a ginormous cruise, but I was scared that it wasn't going to happen. So we just, we backed out of it. But I do have several groups, and literally people call me they are ready to cruise. Every day I get calls. They're ready to go. And I love it. I'm so here for it. I'm ready to go too. I'm
ready. We're just trying to decide where we're going to go.
I know. Which cruise are we?
Which one? Most definitely.
Yeah. Yeah.
So questions.
People are ready to
try. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I think we're breaking up a little bit.
We're breaking up.
Yeah, I think consumers are. I mean, I think spending so much time at home, all of us, and
we're having. Uh-oh, we lost her.
Well, I can tell you how I feel exactly what she's saying. being locked up is like being on punishment. It's like we're grounded to our room. And so I completely understand, where she's coming from and how she feels. And I'm just super excited that everything is finally going, that we're actually getting out there. We're actually cruising. And I can't wait to see what Carnival has in store, because, they always have something. It's going to be a new itinerary. There's going to be a new ship. I can't wait to see what it is. And I'm not even sure if Aliette can tell us, what it is that they have in store, but I'm certainly going to see if I can find out because I'm excited. I'm super excited. And just like you said, Royal, they're not sailing until August. So it's kind of like, if you're wanting on a cruise now, let's go to Carnival.
Well, yeah, it's pretty much what you have to do. There's no other option at this point.
Absolutely. And I think that's an amazing idea.
Yeah, I'm ready. I mean, Disney's not going into I was wrong. I said October. It's not until November. Their first sailing is November the 19th. But they only go out of Galveston 3 months out of the year anyway.
Right.
So
I knew it would. Really?
Huh?
You're really ready to cruise?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm ready to go somewhere and go do something. I'm ready to get my Patucci out of town. So yeah, I think so. I want to go to the Bahamas though. That's where I want to go. That's my next one.
That's what I was going to ask. You want to be on a 4-day or you want to be on a 7-day?
Well, if you want to go to the Bahamas, it's 8 days.
Right. It's 8. It's 8 now. I like the Bahamas. I really do, but I went 3 times in 2019.
See, I didn't do the Bahamas. I did the Bahamas, just the one cruise that we did on Norwegian when we did for IntelliTravel. That's the only time I've ever done the Bahamas, and it was only one stop in Bahamas. So
Right.
the Bahamas cruises that they do, they're like you hit Key West and then you hit a couple of different places. And I really want to hit the Nassau. I want to hit that park. So I'm definitely ready. She's back.
Yay, she's back. Look, Kim saying, me too. Get me on
that ship.
I booked ITQ so fast. I was so ready.
Yep. Ready to go. And she's gone again.
Uh-oh. I think
she must be having it started to storm over here, so I was afraid you were going to lose me for a while because it was really thundering, but it stopped. So.
And it's really dark. So
yeah.
IntelliTravel Quest is a different itinerary as well. It's August the 22nd through the 27th, and of course it's exclusive to IntelliTravel agents, but it's a different itinerary. It's Ocho Rios, Jamaica, Half Moon Key, Bahamas, which is Carnival's private island, and I'm really interested in that one. I'm really interested in that one.
Bahamas is the prettiest.
Yeah, I haven't been to Half Moon Key, so I definitely
haven't either.
Yeah, I've
been to Jamaica, but I haven't been to where in Jamaica is it?
Ocho Rios.
Is that the stop we did?
And
yeah,
that's
it is.
You went to Montego Bay.
Montego Bay, yeah.
And it's different, because Ocho Rios isn't usually a port. That it's not that a port that often. So you could tell that the itinerary was unique. It was created uniquely. And I'm just excited about that. And I want to go to Jamaica. I've never been to Jamaica, but I specifically want to go to Ocho Rios.
Jamaica, man.
Right?
Be prepared when you hit Jamaica, though. They will be your friends.
Absolutely.
Your husband will love it.
They have some super friendly people there. I get what you're saying.
Super friendly people. That is the key words right there. Super friendly people.
Well, I'm just excited to cruise anywhere. I'm actually looking at cruising on the Alaska cruise. I'm actually looking at that too.
Did you actually look?
I did. And some of them include whale watching. I'm really interested
me too.
The glacier. I'm interested in seeing the glacier. I just want to see the glacier. And a lot of them have where you're on the ship and then you go off the ship and you go to the wildlife park and you do the whale watching and then you go to the glacier and everything like that. And so I'm super interested in that. It'll definitely have to be in the summer or something because I don't do well with
want the cold.
I don't do well with the cold. But I do want to do it. I'm super interested in it now. I'm also interested in the Northern Lights, and I don't know if that's a part of the cruise experience, but I'm looking.
Sure, I don't know if it is or not.
Yeah,
I definitely want to do the Alaskan thing because I don't want to go. I'm not ready to go up to Alaska yet.
Okay, I'm back. Let's try again. All right, I switched browsers. I was like, I know you told me Chrome is best, but it's not Chrome. So I was like, I have Firefox as like my other backup to my backup.
Okay. Well,
so let's see.
You sound good. So that's good.
All right, good. It is, by the way, I heard you saying that it was storming over there. It's storming over here today as well, which is so random, but it's just been all day. But anyhow, so I think you were about to put me in the hot seat. You were like, we've got some questions. And then all of a sudden it's like the internet knew and it was like, and everything went out. You guys are like, yeah, she lost her internet. Just as I said, we've got some questions.
Well, you know what? You're so good at the hot seat. So I don't really think it'll be hot for you.
Okay, good.
I don't think it's that hot. It's just everybody wants to know how what different guidelines or what different features are there to start out with. I know it's brand new. It's a whole new experience, something none of us have ever experienced before, period. I've not heard a bad thing though. Everybody's quiet. Nobody's complaining about any kind of a wait. nobody's, I mean, I haven't heard anything bad. So,
Yeah, I mean, we only had our first week of sailing. We're on week 2 of our second sailing. The one thing I can say is, any policies you see out there, everything is very fluid still. So right now, anything you're reading, it's a July policy. And then, we'll have our August updates come out, because our hope is that as we continue to sail and as, numbers continue to drop, that, the CDC is going to get, even more and more lenient with cruising, kind of like how it's happened over with, hotels and airlines and so forth. But you're right. I was peeled on to Facebook all week, just especially, I don't know if, and I'm sure you do, but if you don't follow John Heald, he's a great person for Carnival. He's our ambassador for Carnival, and he's our longest standing cruise director, and he's just got a great following, and he's always bringing great information, and he's obviously in touch with what's going on board the ship. And I was just following him all week, just listening for updates, and everything I heard was just fantastic. But I wasn't surprised, and on one sense, I'll tell you, because although it was a really hard decision to go through the route of the majority of the ship being vaccinated with the options that that we had, it ultimately came down to guest experience. So that way, because you don't want to be in the dining room, and you don't want to have to be, have a mask on. And if you're eating at how are you supposed to, eat and lift your, what are we supposed to do? Right.
Right.
So I think that ultimately that's why we haven't heard anything negative, because we kind of tried to pick the lesser of the two evils and the one that was going to be the best guest experience, because ultimately, if you're paying money to go on this cruise, you want to have a good time, right?
I agree.
So, but just know that whatever's out there right now, because I know there's that big split. Lysa and I have talked about it. There's the people that are okay with vaccination, and then there's people that aren't okay with it, and that's all of it is perfectly fine, because that's why we live in the greatest country ever, where democracy exists, and we are all allowed to have our opinions and make our own decisions and so forth. So if you're on one of the other sides of the fences and you're not into the idea of being vaccinated right now, then just hold off, because I'm hopeful that the day will come when that won't be an issue, just like it's looking that way soon for airlines and so forth. We just we're the last ones to get in line cruising, right? We're the last ones to restart. So we just got to be patient.
So we have
our first question.
Is it a good time for first-time cruisers, or should people wait until later in the year?
Listen, I think this is my personal, I think it's a great time for first-time cruisers, for any cruisers, as long as they have an open mind. And we had a conversation with our team, and Kirk and I were talking about this. For those of you who don't know, that's my boss. And if he's watching, he's awesome. Even if he's not watching, Lysa knows I would say he's awesome.
He's awesome,
because he really is. He's an awesome guy. But him and we were talking about that, and it's if you're open-minded, and you're going to be okay if something isn't perfect, then yeah, it's a perfect time to cruise. The only thing is, we don't know exactly, how the experience is. At least I can't say it, because it's just week 2. I haven't been on board yet to relay that. I know that our team is working diligently to make it a great experience. So if you're flexible and you're, casual, then yeah, tell them to go on a cruise. Absolutely. Listen, in my opinion, it would be great, because there's less people on board right now. That means not long lines at any of the restaurants. Right. You can probably get reservations to things that are usually more difficult, like the chef's table or, specialty dining. I'm sure excursions aren't as crowded, which is also, nice. So I would say, yeah, take advantage of that. I mean, I remember, for one, from a consumer perspective, I remember I was amongst some of the first sailings to go, after 9/11, when everybody was kind of like in that fear and panic mode of travel again. And travel was super economical, and my travel agent at the time called me with a great cruise deal. I didn't even work at Carnival at the time, but I was like, heck yeah, I want to go on that. And it was such a great cruise because there was like nobody on board. There were no lines. I got all the spa, sea days.
Yeah, there you go. That's
massages on sea days. You know how usually those are like, you want a massage on the sea day? And we've got one at 7 a.m. You're like, great. It was fantastic. So yes, my answer to that question is absolutely. If they're flexible, book them on a cruise. Just set, everything is about setting the expectation.
Oh yeah.
If you set the right expectation, then people are going to have a great time.
Well, first-time cruisers don't know what they don't know, so it's fun as far as they know. So they don't know what's any different.
Right. I have a group going March the 5th on the Mardi Gras. One client, the CPAC, and she has been vaccinated. Will she be allowed to cruise?
That is so far out because you're 2022. Kind of like I said earlier, everything's very fluid right now. I wouldn't go by any regulations that we have at the moment. So anything that is happening right now, I wouldn't, how can I say, I wouldn't jump the gun to cancel that guest or say, you're not going to be able to go so forth on this cruise because of, any condition or anything like that. But if you do want to get a better, and I'm dancing around this question, I'll tell you why, because I really have a great respect for our special needs desk. And, listen, everybody at Carnival has a role and we're all specialists at something. And I can say this is not my specialty when it comes to, special needs and so forth, but I would encourage you to contact our special needs desk and ask them and see what the guideline is right now. I know prior to COVID, that wasn't a problem. I haven't read in depth on the policy right now. So I don't know if that's an issue at the moment. I believe the only thing I've read is on dialysis. If anyone has, needs dialysis at the moment for the current sailings going out, we're encouraging those guests to not travel. And, I guess, that just goes with the territory. If someone's on dialysis, they probably have an a compromised immune system. Right. And, we're just looking out for their best interest. But I believe a CPAC in the past has never been an issue. Right. Generally, the guest brings it on board themselves. Right. It's self-administered, so in the past, it was never an issue. But what I would recommend to the agent asking the question, or if it's a guest, just call in and speak to our special needs desk and they will give you an update. But I haven't heard of that policy's changed, but again, don't quote me on that one because everything is so fluid right now. It's like things that were before aren't the same now, or things that, we thought wouldn't change have changed, or things that we thought would change didn't change. It's just a plethora of information and it is coming at us so fast that it's hard to keep it all straight.
I think her question leans more towards the fit to sell because it was rumored that you would have to have a fit to sell form.
God, from your doctor.
Right.
Okay.
CPAP, I've had one before, and I don't think that it would stop her from cruising, and she's already been vaccinated. So I don't think it would stop her, but I think that's more kind of along the lines of her question about the fit to sell. But it's my understanding that was not something that was ever implemented.
Yeah, it wasn't put into place.
That was discussed and rumored, and then that never ended up actually flying. So I wouldn't be concerned. And listen, again, that sailings, my memory serves me right, I think it said it was March of 2022. Mm-hmm. So. Gosh, if I'm back on Travel Talk Tuesday, I'm probably sooner, but if I'm back here in March of next year, I surely hope we are having a totally different conversation.
Absolutely.
This is not even a topic for discussion. So I would just say, don't jump the gun on that one.
Okay, this will be.
Oh, and it's going to be her first cruise.
Oh, she'll have a great time.
And a great ship. I mean, Mardi Gras. Wow, great pick.
Yes.
If it's first cruise, she's starting spoiled. So you got after that, you can only book Celebration after that.
Yes, she's going bigger, go big
to the top.
Yeah. She's going Texas. Go big or go home.
That's right.
Right. I'm super excited about Mardi Gras. I have yet to book on her, but I keep looking at her. She's amazing. She's gorgeous.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I always say on presentations, like, so to speak, I feel like Carnival's dipping our toes into luxury with Mardi Gras. But what I love about that ship is that, you know, she's definitely a great ship for multi-generational, because, you know, one thing that I hear a lot from some travel agents that, you know, maybe book a little bit more luxury or so forth, you know, so sometimes it's like, you know, grandma and grandpa, they want the luxury stuff. And then the next generation, they're still working their way up to that budget, but they're okay with like a regular suite or a balcony. And then you've got like the grandkids in college that they're like scraping to get the interior cabin. But that's why I joke that ship is definitely multi-generational, because I feel like the entire family can go on it. Each person can get what they want out of the ship. So if you want, you know, extra fancy, or as Lysa sometimes says, extra bougie, then then you've got that on Mardi Gras, but you've also still got the casual Carnival fun, you know, environment where if you just want to go and chill out and be part of that deck party and just enjoy people watching, you're still going to have that on board the ship too. So it's like you get the best of both worlds. So I'm super excited for Mardi Gras. And if you didn't know, Emerald Lagasse has partnered with us, and he's one of our new celebrity chefs also.
Ooh.
With specialty dining. So I'm excited about that.
My mother-in-law has been watching one of the TV shows with Guy Fieri, and I've been like, I want on a cruise. I want a Guy burger.
Yes,
I know.
And
That's
I'm
so
like,
good.
watching it the other day, and I was like, I just want to get on a cruise and eat a burger from Guy. That's all I want. I want a Guy.
Oh my gosh. I feel like anybody who likes a burger, that's like the first thing you do on a Carnival ship. Like you have to get a Guy's burger. That's usually my
first get on.
That's like my first meal. And I kind of do it to be like, okay, I'm going to have my one and get it, not to get it out of the way in a bad way, kind of like, let me get it out of my system. And then I try to tell myself no more, because if not, I'll be eating burgers every day. They're so amazing, those burgers.
And with no bread.
Oh yeah, that's a good way to do it. They're so good. They're so good.
So good.
Yes.
And it's so, I mean, honestly, I still think it's fantastic that is complimentary, because I think that burger is so great that if they charged me for it, I would pay for it. But I'm glad they don't, especially families. I always tell agents that I'm like, I mean, stress that to your families with like 3 and 4 kids. I mean, those kids can put away burgers.
Oh my God. The boys, they just eat and they don't gain any weight.
I know.
Put it off. So yeah, I definitely do stress that. I have a spring break group going out on the breeze, and I'm super excited about this, and they're excited as well. They've never cruised before, and it's you know, parents and kids, and I definitely do tell them all the time, hey, if they want to walk and eat all day, then let them walk and eat all day, and then they'll go to bed. Definitely. And then you know what I really love, you know, when you go swimming and you go swimming all day, when you get home, you're so tired and you just want to go to bed. Let those kids go eat those Guys burgers and go to the pool.
Yep. While you go relax on your balcony.
Oh my gosh.
I'm going to be on my balcony.
I mean, speaking of that, I'm so excited about this cruise, because it's my first time being able to use Camp Carnival. My daughter's too. I feel like we go everywhere. I mean, we're one of those like crazy parents that take our child everywhere. But I feel like on a Carnival ship, I have that level of comfort that I'm be like, oh yeah, Camp Carnival. So it's like mommy vacation time too.
You do take her everywhere.
I do take her. You know, I feel like so sidebar, this is like personal, but you know, because we were saying earlier that for those of you listening earlier, I was joking with the ladies that, you know, I'm an older mom, for the first time mom and older mom. And I just think it's that. So I wanted, you know, just enjoy every moment. I wanted this baby so bad that she's going with me everywhere. Yeah. So she's going on a cruise. She's going on a cruise to Europe at some point.
Absolutely.
and
that's good for her though. She'll be well traveled. That's good.
I'm sure people are going to look at us like, look at these crazy people with a 4-year-old going to Europe. But yeah, that's happening.
think that that's important. I mean, that's
I do too.
do what I do. I want these kids, I want these parents to be able to have their kids with birthdays on a Carnival cruise ship or in Punta Cana at Nickelodeon or wherever, because it's important. The more traveled your child is, the more culture, the more, experience.
And there's research on that. I've done the research.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I've read some great articles. The truth, it's so many articles about how what we remember the most in the end is experiences.
Absolutely.
And even though, our kids want certain things, I read some great articles about like, you can give them as much material things as you want, but at the end of the day, they're going to remember that trip that they went on, or, that excursion. You can't undo, you can lose a toy, but you can't undo a memory.
Right.
Absolutely.
So,
my son will attest that when I became a travel agent, he was my travel buddy for several years, and he's been everywhere that I've been. And he's in his 20s, but he's ready again. So he's like, "Where are we going now? We're back in motion."
That's awesome.
With her, like, "Where are we going, Mom?"
We had all these trips booked and all this stuff booked, and COVID just devastated us. But we're ready to start. We're ready to start again. So.
Yep. Well, but yeah, just with that same feeling that you're saying, that's the same feeling that we're saying consumers are having. Absolutely. Where I'm like, that light switch just turned on. Everybody's just ready to start booking. And so if you're an agent and you're listening to this, you've got that book of business and you were waiting for them. Don't wait for them to call you. Call your guest.
Absolutely.
People are ready to travel.
I'm just posting on my regular page, hinting that I am a travel advisor, and I'm getting phone calls and I'm getting messages. They're ready to go. I think Mr. Ferrara said it was going to be a trend of revenge travel. And I definitely think that's what this is, because it's the revenge from being locked up in the house all this time. And so everybody's ready to go. When it first happened, like, I lost a lot of sleep.
So did I.
They were coming at me at all times of the day and the night. And I'm the person that if my phone is in my hand, I'm going to do it. I'm going to book it. And sometimes at 1 and 2 o'clock in the morning, they're just ready to go. People are ready to go. And I'm super happy that we're able to accommodate them, especially on cruising. And I missed it. I missed cruising, period. I love everything, but I love cruising more than the other things.
Yeah, I have to agree. I have to agree with you on that. Cruising was my thing. So when COVID hit, I literally had like 60 plus.
She went into a hole.
It was horrible. It was horrible for me. Cruising is like 80% of my business. So it was like I lost. I mean, everything was. It wasn't just cruising that closed down, but it was a big deal for me. So it's like tears. So I'm like, now I'm ready. I'm ready to come back.
I know, but we're survivors.
I feel like it wasn't necessary. I do feel like cruising was the only thing that did actually shut down, because I did still have people that were booking all inclusive and everything like that, and it was really hard trying to get the cruise crowd to go to all inclusive. The
cruise people are cruise people. That's what they want to do.
They're like, I don't want that. I want to cruise. Nobody. Some people really were like, serious. Nobody's cruising. I'm like, no, sorry. They're like, nobody. I'm like, no.
Yeah, well, especially if you're spoiled like us, and you ladies live pretty close to the port in Galveston, and then I live close to 2 ports in Miami, and I'm a couple hours even from Port Canaveral. So it's just, we're spoiled. It's so much easier to just drive to the port than to get on a flight, check your bags, go through customs, just all that. And one thing for me personally, one thing that always kind of makes me love cruising more is I've had so many experiences where I've gone to an all-inclusive and it's just a bad week and it rains. Like that's happened to me like 3 times, that it's always
I've been to Caribbean. I don't think I've been to an all-inclusive yet that it hasn't rained at some point when I'm there.
Right.
Oh my God. Well, one time I went to Negril and it rained every day. We were ready to like, I think it was like the last day was partly cloudy and I was like, this freaking sucks. But I always feel like on a cruise, because you're kind of going to different areas, you know, and we try to sail away from the storm, not towards it. You know, it's like we're sailing to find the better weather. You kind of get, you can get a rainy, I'm not saying you don't get rainy days on cruises, but I've never been on a cruise where it's rained every day.
No, I've never.
No, I don't think nope, I haven't either. I don't think I've been on one that it rained.
I've been on one that
it windy. We went around a hurricane one time, but we never actually encountered.
We went around Dorian, and let me tell you, that was the best sleep ever.
Oh yeah, just rocked you right to sleep.
Yep.
It was the best sleep ever. But it rained in Puerto Rico, and I just got off, you know, and took pictures where it said Puerto Rico and got right back on. I did some indoor activities.
Yeah.
That's just, you know, that's the option that you have, you know, when it's cruising. I had a question, but I don't remember what it.
I have one too. I just thought of one too. So
okay,
this show is for travel agents and travelers and those that want to do both. So my question is, I am very much of an very avid, now I can't remember the name of it. Lysa, now I lost my train of thought too.
Overthinker?
No. Yeah, I'm an overthinker too, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about ship inspections. That's the word.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So we have a lot of agents that watch this show, and I love ship inspections because I always go live, and I have never yet been on a ship inspection that I have not booked a cruise from a ship inspection.
Yes.
So when will that resume?
Oh, I wish I had an answer for that, but I don't, honestly. We're still waiting to get more information on when they will resume. I personally feel like we're closer only because we're going to do some ship inspections for Mardi Gras for our employees, for Carnival employees, so that they can see the ship. So I kind of feel like, you know, anytime corporate does something like that, it's usually like we're dipping our toes to test the waters or something, test the process. So I feel like maybe that ship inspection is kind of a test of, you know, how can we do this in this new environment, maybe. But we don't have an official date. But what I can tell you, for anyone who is listening that is new to the travel industry, 100% I do agree that, yes, you know, ship inspections are the way to go. There's nothing like seeing the ship in person and so forth. But if you are new and you haven't been able to get on a Carnival ship, you know, obviously because of this situation that we've all been in, what we did do is, if you go on goccl.com, or if you check out the Carnival YouTube page, that's for travel agents, for independent travel agents, like travel agents with IntelliTravel, which is our CIOT page. It's short for our Carnival Independent Agent Team page. We've got some really cool videos. What the BDM team, like myself and other BDMs, what we've done is we created these virtual ship tours. So we virtually went through the ships, and we showed you a lot of the common areas and the staterooms and, you know, specialty dining areas and so forth. So at least you can get familiar with it. You know, there's nothing like walking the ship in person, but for right now, definitely check those out if you're a new agent, or even if you're, you know, you might not be a new agent, but you might want to refresh on a certain ship. Check them out. We've got them all up there. And we did a really fun one for Mardi Gras, as the whole team kind of got in on it. So, you know, that's on the YouTube page as well. So if anything, it's just something fun to watch, but it'll give you at least some over the top information on all of the Carnival vessels until we do get back to ship inspections. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's like I'd honestly just be pulling it from the sky if I said something. Usually they tend to slow down. Normally, like normal years when we have them on the calendar, usually by, you know, Q4 end of year, they start slowing down and we don't have as many on the books. And we're already in July. We're halfway through the year. So unless we were to open them up this next quarter, now in Q3, I kind of don't see us I almost don't see them happening this year. I hate to say that, but don't quote me on that, because I don't know. I mean, listen, this situation has taught me that I know nothing, because
anything can happen. That's for sure.
Because anything can happen. Listen, I mean, definitely when all of this started, I never thought we would have stopped sailing. Then I never thought we would have paused as long as we did. Now that we've resumed sailing, for a minute there, I wasn't sure when Mardi Gras was getting here, when she would start sailing. Now she's starting to sail earlier than I expected. So it's like everything is so fluid. That the one thing I can tell you, if you are a travel agent, is be sure that you are staying on top of GoCCL.com. If you're a consumer listening in, then this doesn't matter to you, because it's a special agent website with Carnival. And if you're interested in becoming an agent and you are a consumer, then talk to one of these ladies and they'll tell you how to do that.
Absolutely.
But stay on top of GoCCL.com, just so you can get the day-to-day information. We've got a travel advisory right up there with protocols, and honestly, all that stuff is changing. Like even myself, like I'm reading things, and then sometimes I'm getting an update to the update. Just last Friday, I was talking to Kirk, and I was like, we're both just saying that the last update confused us both, and he was like, I'm gonna call and get some clarity. I was like, good, because I'm really confused now. So and I say that in a jovial way to you as an agent, because if you get confused sometimes with so many updates and so forth, just know you're not alone. I mean, I represent one brand, and I only need to know things about Carnival. I have so much respect for all of you. Anytime a travel agent calls me with questions and they're like, I'm so sorry, I'm calling with such a silly question. No question is too silly, because goodness, you are having to know about Carnival and all these other cruise brands, and then also land vacations and airlines. And
yeah,
I mean, gosh, I have so much respect for you, and I'm really just humbled, for you. So when you call, if you have a question, please just ask away, because I know that you're having to juggle 40 brands when I'm having to juggle one, and I still can't keep them straight.
Well, you guys provide us with such support, because I use all of your stuff that you offer. I use your YouTube videos for when I do groups, because I'll do like a group party at home, and I'll find a YouTube on the ship they're going to be on, and I'll play it during our meetings so that they can actually, especially if they're first time cruisers, they can actually see what the ship looks like and where everything is. I think those resources are valuable for us. So
yeah, and we've got a really cool thing now it's called our virtual cruise parties. I don't know if you ladies have checked it out, but you can download it right on GoCCL.com. It's got all the information for you to throw your own virtual cruise party and just customize it. It's really, it's something really fun to use. Awesome. But Lisa, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. You had a question.
No worries, no worries. I do have a question, but we have to take a really quick commercial break and hang out with us. And as soon as we come back, I have that burning question for you.
Hey, it's your girl, Lisa Dene, and I want to tell you about an amazing event that I just found out about. It's called a business fair. Are you tired of going to job fairs when you know you really want to be your own boss? Maybe you just don't know where to start. Well, this business fair, presented by Flat Fee Tax Prep and Services, is just for you. If you're in the Houston and surrounding areas, come and learn all about the many business opportunities available to you. For more information and rates, call 281-661-3975 or visit www.flatfeecreditandtax.com. And don't forget to mention that your girl Lisa Dene and Stunner Radio sent you.
And we are back. Thank you so much for hanging with us, guys. I have one more question for you, and it's kind of like a two question, but I'm super excited to hear if there are any new itineraries or any new ships on the horizon besides the Mardi Gras.
So itineraries, I'm kind of going to skip over that one, only because, we're still waiting to get, approval from all of the ports and so forth. But we do have some exciting stuff coming out for 2022 and 2023. I believe. Let me see. I kind of want to skip over before I don't want to quote it because I'm not sure if it's been announced, but check out 2023 and 2022 Southern Caribbean, because there should be a new port on there. So I'll leave it as
I gotta go look.
I'll leave it as a sizzle to see if it's posted yet. And if not, then keep your eyes peeled for it. So it's a port that I'm excited that we're going to be going back to. It's been several years since Carnival's been there, and it used to be one of my favorites. So I'm really excited about that. So check it out. It should be under the Eastern and the Southern itineraries. I would probably find it on the 7 or 8 day sailings. So, and if they're not posted, I'll check after this. If it's not posted yet, I'll be sure to, once it comes out, I'll send the sneak peek to you ladies so you can share it on the show.
Okay.
Definitely.
Now, as far as new ships, you might have already heard the announcement that we've got the Celebration on order. So Carnival Celebration is also, and it's the new Celebration, not the old one. She's also part of the Excel class ships. So she is going to be the second ship in the Excel class. So she's coming after Mardi Gras. And her home port has already been announced, which is going to be my backyard in Miami. So I'm really excited about that. We also just recently, I think about a month ago, and we put it in the Miami Herald, we broke ground on the new port over in the port of Miami, where she's going to, have a whole new port, because of course it's the largest ship Carnival's ever had in the port of Miami, and there wasn't any space for her, so we had to build it. Wow. So that's currently happening right now over in Port of Miami. So we're super excited about that. The other thing I would say, if you haven't heard this, then you've been under a rock. No, I'm just kidding. But it's our 50th birthday and anniversary for Carnival coming up next year. So we're super excited about that. And Celebration is part of that. And we're hosting what's called a Celebration. So I love that. It's such a cute play on words. So for our Celebration cruises, it's about, I think it's about like somewhere between 15 or 20 sailings. So I don't have a slide with you now to share with you, but they're on different Carnival ships. And they're going to, and I actually did a whole training on this for IntelliTravel. So if you're an IntelliTravel agent, check it out in the back office and you can catch that training. If not, we've got great information on it on our Carnival YouTube page as well. So check it out there for consumers or travel agents. But there's a select number of specialty sailings, and what we're going to be doing for those Celebration cruises is we're going to have, we're bringing back some of the old school things that cruising has kind of done away with through the years, but because we're, celebrating the celebration of the first year of Carnival cruising and all that, we're going to be bringing back things like the midnight buffet, and, certain deck party things that we used to do, back in the old school days, and, like the top desserts back then, which was like Cherry's Jubilee, and the dessert parade and all that stuff, and the dining room. We're going to have some specialty cocktails just for those Celebration sailings. So there are certain items that you won't be able to enjoy unless you're on those particular cruises. And the really cool thing that I think we're going to be doing is certain of those sailings. So if you go to either carnival.com or GoCCL and you look up the Celebration itineraries, some of them are going to say Carnival Meetup. And what that is that in the middle of the ocean, all of these different Carnival ships are going to meet up in the same location. And we're going to have like this huge party, like every DJ from all the ships are going to be having like this deck party. And it's going to be like, 6 different ships in the middle of the ocean. And you'll get to see like the ship like really close by. And even though I've gotten some funny questions, like I actually had somebody ask me like, well, can we go to another ship? I'm like, no, you're in the middle of the ocean. But you're like, but you're going to be like parked around each other. So it'll be docked, or I should say, right? So it'll be really cool. I think, that's definitely a unique experience. I mean, when else are you going to be able to be in the middle of the ocean and see all the amazing lights from all these other ships and listening to the music coming from their deck party onto your deck party? So It's going to be like the ultimate birthday party to participate in. So if you are a travel agent and you're big on like Facebook Live and filming stuff and all that, you want to be on one of those cruises because that's going to be super exciting.
Wanda
There's several of them.
She's
She's on a celebration one. Wanda's on one. Look at her.
Nice.
I saw it because that's around my birthday. You know, my birthday is March the 6th because I remembered seeing that there was going to be a celebration. So I'm so excited about that. Yeah. Celebration.
There's tons of itineraries, tons of different ports that you can depart from. So they're not all leaving from Miami. They're leaving from, all of our different ports of call. So just that's why it's too many for me to just ramble off the top of my head, but check it out either on GoCCL or on carnival.com.
That's totally cool.
We really appreciate all the information and we love having you. Please tell everybody where they can find you at on social media.
Oh yeah, definitely. So you can find me under Aliette Penton. If you're a travel advisor with IntelliTravel, I have a private group for you guys. It's called the IntelliTravel Carnival Fun Hub. So make sure to join that if you aren't with IntelliTravel, and if you're not, then you got to get with them, or you can't be part of that cool group. Sorry. But if not, also feel free to follow me right on social media. I post a lot of personal family pictures and a lot of pictures with my baby girl, but I also do post a lot of information for Carnival there as well. But thank you so much, ladies, for having me tonight. It's been always a pleasure. It's always more fun than work with you girls. So I'm happy to do this anytime.
I can't believe it's been an hour already. So
I know.
Here.
You see, it's like time flies when you're having fun.
It does.
It always does. Thank you so much for joining us. And guys, next week we'll be back with Travel Tea and travel updates with Melissa. So definitely stay tuned for Travel Talk Tuesday next Tuesday. Happy Tuesday, everybody.
Have a good night. Thanks, Wanda. Thank you, Aliette.
Bye, ladies. Thank you.